Well, first serve will begin on the paddle of Leigh Waters. Packed house on this Friday afternoon. And a beautiful point out of the gate for Waters, who won 7 of the 9 possible titles the last 3 years at this event, Rob.
Yeah, and time is on her side. 18, she still has that bounce, that vigor, and even just that first point in this progressive draw. And week after week, everybody knows there's no breaks for these pickleballers. Pickleball season is all year round. Ooh, Catherine Parenteau on the move.
Ooh, got it.
Go.
Catherine Parenteau has met with Leigh Waters 28 times in their careers. Her last win coming in March of 23 over Waters. So it's been 2 years and some change. How do you even gain confidence heading into this match with your Catherine? You play with Leigh Waters. You know how good she is. You lose more times than not against her. How do you formulate that confidence, Rob, up to this point?
Just out. Yeah, Catherine's a fighter, right? She's a challenger. She's a gamer. She wants to solve the puzzle. And outside of days where they're doing this on center court, they're warm-up partners. They practice every morning together outside of days like this where they're competing, which has been a long time since they have run into each other. So, you know, Catherine is up for the challenge, on the grind, and every day working on this exact problem to solve.
Parenteau is 30 years old, originally from Montreal, Canada. Ooh, that is just too good. Opposite corner drop to the corner of the kitchen, Rob.
Yeah, it's a defensive shot, as you would categorize that drop shot, but it creates offense. As case in point, winning the point. Beautiful.
And for the drop volley, and there you see Catherine Parenteau repays the favor with the drop to the backhand side. Last time they met was November at the World Championships. Waters won 11-2, 11-3.
Oh, little cat and mouse on the women's side of things.
If I'm Waters looking at this draw, seeing Catherine Parenteau in my quarterfinal, I'm like, what in the world? That's how good the field has gotten. A clockwork Waters gets the serve right back. These two typically meet in finals. Last meeting was in a semifinal, but the last 10 or so were finals or the bronze medal match. That one off tournament.
Serves and takes the net. All advantage for Leigh Waters. It's that Ben Johns, Leigh Waters effect. They just kind of stack up points out of nowhere. That's a serve return into a win. Another serve return. That Catherine does not miss those against anybody else. And that's what Leigh and Ben Johns do to their opponents.
Well, as you saw briefly on the screen there, Leigh Waters could hit a milestone this weekend, looking for 200th win. I believe it would be on Sunday. 98 wins to her name. Oh, the drop volley was there, just missed it.
And even when you miss those, she's showing Catherine a different look, which is going to make all of her other looks that much better. Haymaker to the corner. Overhead back to it. Off balance, still keeps her perfect precision. Leigh Waters.
She's so hard to pass. I mean, what makes her so difficult to pass? She doesn't have the length, Waters, but she's got that anticipation.
Oh. You're exactly right, Michelle. That anticipation, that's just about 50% of the equation. The other part is the explosive movement that she has. That first movement she makes towards the ball is always explosive, always gets her ahead in the points, and makes her shots that much easier to execute. Drop shot from Catherine.
Oh, what a get. Perfect setup from CP. Drop volley to finesse volley to the corner. Ooh, corner to corner, just a couple inches wide for Waters, and here comes Parenteau. This is as sharp as we've seen Parenteau early against Waters.
Yeah.
Within one. Chance to tie it here for Parenteau.
4-5.
Perfect approach for Waters. Puts Catherine Parenteau in a vulnerable spot. And a couple of weeks ago in the interview after their women's doubles win in Tucson, Leigh said, I love Catherine so much, I'm going to have her at my side on my wedding day one day. That's how close these two are off the court, but fierce competitors on the court. They hate playing against each other.
6-4.
Nice held on that serve possession. Parenteau able to get right back to work.
Catherine Parenteau read that one down the line, and just as quick, Waters anticipated her movement across the way and went the opposite direction.
Yeah, and regardless of the shot, forehand, backhand, these women are able to generate so much power on that ball. Stretched out. Goes for the open hole. It's there.
Up a nice fight here in game one. Waters just finds that extra edge in these tougher matchups. Just wide. And Waters forces you into that pinpoint accuracy.
8-4.
It causes some of these misses because you have to spread her out so wide with the heaviest of angles and the deepest of shots. It's hard to capitalize and execute on the other side.
Just miss. You're absolutely right, Michelle, and that comes from, you know, it takes that much more to gain an advantage against players like Leigh Waters. Oh, it's a dynamic approach, but Leigh Waters is there for the volley. There's that anticipation that you mentioned earlier.
9-4.
Quality backhand cross court into a forehand at the kitchen line. Are you kidding?
Oh, that's beautiful from Catherine Parenteau. Off that Selkirk paddle inside out.
Yeah, that inside out's so nice. Now, how can she get Leigh Waters to bring the ball to that part of the court so she can repeat that pattern for herself? That's where this chess game between these ladies begins.
Looking like Jack Sock with that inside out forehand on the other side.
5-9.
Wow. Back to it. Volley, so good.
Beautiful run for Catherine Parenteau, and Waters immediately walks to the bench. She does not waste time breezing through the draw in women's doubles.
Oh, man. Way to bounce back after that timeout.
I'd love to know the numbers of the point differential Waters wins after calling a timeout.
Yeah.
It has to be something like 90% of the time she's winning those, those rallies.
Just miss.
Ooh, I don't know. That was close. Yeah, I do see it wide.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, the numbers after calling that timeout. Oh, definitely a spike for Leigh Waters, but for anyone in general, the stats on calling the timeout, the person who calls it has the advantage.
Over on Grandstand, Brooke Buckner up a game on Mary Brasha, who was the finalist last year, Mary Brasha. Keep you posted on that. Parenteau out of options in that sequence. Annalie Waters earning game points.
10-6.
Nice return. Oh.
Waters takes the first, but had to earn it. 11-6 against her women's doubles partner. We'll be right back with more from Mesa, Arizona, as Waters looks to defend her title here, not once, but three.
And that's the kind of the difference between even just these two players on that center court. But it is impressive to have one PPA gold medal,
Yes.
let alone 49.
Yeah.
And I gotta mention it, we saw Simone Jargim's name on that list with 6, still holding it down in 3rd place. To have not played a PPA in 2+ years and still be in 3rd place with the gold medals, very impressive.
Well, yeah, you think
in.
about that, because Jargim is such a legend in her own right, and look at the comparison medal-wise. I mean, it's at such a young age for Waters.
What do I think? I think Simone Jargim, I think GOAT.
Over Waters?
Oh, man. Well, it's tough because Parenteau is the one who, quote-unquote, dethroned Simone Jargim, quote-unquote. And they were an incredible partnership, too. You know, so many things come into to that equation, but I can't take Simone Jargim out of the GOAT conversation.
Ooh, that's so good. Inside out, Waters goes. And we've seen the cross-court angle she can rip on that forehand side, too. You can't blame Catherine Parenteau for committing
0-0.
to the right here.
Sure.
Point.
It's interesting. You see the women's singles game so rarely go to that cat and mouse, but anytime it does, Annalie Waters is very on top of it. Good ball.
Wow, drop volley on the run for Waters. She does it all.
Scoreboard of game 1, 11-6, and it was what felt like very close. It's hard to commit to saying that game 2 will look similar. We're going to take our first.
Is free to subscribe. Download the app for that free 30-day trial subscription. Pickleballtv.com has more info for you. Brooke Buckner up a game. And a couple points on Mary Brasha. Buckner the 3 seed due to Caitlin Christian playing the way she has, making it to every final this year so far. Over on center on the left, it's Waters. Breezing in game 2. Football called on Catherine Parenteau.
What is it about Annalie Waters' serve that causes so much trouble for her opponents? Oh, there's a nice drop. Gives her the angle.
Break off the tape.
Pulls her back in. Back to the angle.
And a high five after that point. Incredible athleticism from Parenteau on the run.
I love this, and the crowd is in full effect here this morning at our first match of the day. Normally, you know, different events, they come in later in the day, you know, maybe during doubles, but they're here for the first event. Arizona shows up.
And that just shows the respect they have for one another.
7-0.
Handshake after the point.
Speaking of Arizona, we got the announcement of the rebrand of the MLP team.
Yes.
The Arizona Drive is now the Phoenix Flames.
What do you think about that?
I love it. The logo is awesome, and I'm super hyped about it. Phoenix Flames. Look out. Ooh. And that's how it works. You can't find advantage. You cannot find things that work against Ben and Anna-Leigh, and that's when you start, when you have to go for more. Yeah. That's what it means when we say that you literally have to go for more than you normally do.
9-0.
Too good.
Quick side out for Waters. Empty trip for Parenteau. Waters now in pickle territory.
9-0.
Pressure with that depth. Pickle points, match point for Waters.
10-0.
Waters runs away with a second, grabs the pickle on her women's doubles partner and advances to the semifinal round. A warm embrace after the match to, they don't like this matchup, but Waters continues to dominate it.
Yep, and that's what we're going to see and what we've expected to see. A great fight from Catherine Parenteau in that game one. But what can you do against best of the best, Anna-Leigh Waters?
We'll be right back with more from Mesa, Arizona. Anna-Leigh Waters through to the semifinals, and we'll have a winning interview with her after the break. Stay with us. Anna-Leigh Waters moving on to the semifinal rounds, but a lot of respect between these two. Waters and Parenteau embrace after the match, and Anna-Leigh Waters at least played for 26 minutes this time instead of her usual 16 minutes over on center in women's singles. Waters joins us now to talk about the big win. Anna-Leigh, I know you dislike this matchup against your women's doubles partner. How do you get into that competitive mode against somebody you care for in this way and somebody you hope to have in your wedding someday?
Yeah, it's really tough. I was in the bathroom texting my mom. I'm like, I got to go out there with no mercy, but it's so hard. When I see Catherine, I'm just like, oh, I just want to talk to her in the match. She had a good shot. I'm like, Catherine, that was a really good shot, but you can't be saying that. So it's really tough. But I definitely respect her game a lot. She had some insane gets. And definitely every time we face off, I remember all the insane matches we've had when it used to be 3 out of 5 singles in the finals, and we'd have 5-game singles battles. So Catherine's been in the sport for a long time, and she's a great singles player. So to play her in the quarterfinals is kind of a bummer. If we're going to play, I'd much rather play her in a final or at least a semifinal.
Absolutely. Well, every part of your singles game is aggressive and tends to gain you advantage. I'm just going to pick one of them, Anna-Leigh. Talk about your serve for a second. Your serve is so powerful and tends to give your opponents problems. What about your serve can you share for some people at home for their serve?
Yeah, I was joking on the bench with my mom because I feel like we've changed my serve 10 times. I feel like every tournament we're trying to make it better, make it spinnier, make it harder. Because honestly, when I first started playing singles, that was one of my weaknesses, is I didn't have a good serve at all, and people could get to the net in 2 seconds, and I just have to rely on my passes. But that can be tiring, so I definitely don't want to have to rely on that. But I just think right now, honestly, it's finishing my serve. I tend to hit it and kind of stop here. So my mom was telling me, because I felt like my serve was a lot better in the second game than it was in the first. And she was telling me just to finish my stroke and not stop at contact. So thank you, Mom, for helping me with that.
I love it. Yeah, Leigh has so much good insight on this great game. And Anna-Leigh, congrats again. Moving on to the semifinals and looking to extend a very dominant streak here with, I think, at least 61 tournaments, earning at least 1 medal of any kind. And we continue our coverage here on Humana Championship Courts. When we return, it's Ben Johns against Christian Elshon. Leigh Waters won't go very far in this one. She'll be at the bench for Christian. We'll see what gives at the Carvana Mesa Cup after the break.